Alright, hello and welcome to Cooking Unseen. My name is Owen, and today we are going to be making a easy and simple but elegant dish of chicken piccata. And we are going to start out prepping everything. So I'm going to start to first cut a lemon in half and then juice it. And then after we juice this lemon, we're gonna cut another lemon and then cut it again in half and then cut it into thin slices.
All right, describe what you're using to juice it.
All right, so this is a juicer, and
you can buy it at Walmart
or
just anywhere, Amazon, of course. And you put the half of the lemon in there and you squeeze it together into your dish. The seeds won't go in with it, right?
No.
So first.
All right, so we've cut the shallots already in half, but we're cutting them again to make them fit in our electric chopper that we're using to mince them up.
You guys hear Pete in the living room saying peekaboo? I'll take you in there to see him in just a minute while Owen's chopping.
He's currently singing the Addams Family.
All right, so are you gonna make paste or chop?
Chop.
And how do you do that?
So you just pull it.
All right, let's see how it turned out. I'll come get a picture with the camera. And that is minced very nicely. So Owen will take the blade out and scrape it over here into a little ramekin, and that ingredient will be ready to go. This is Pete. You can hear him while Owen is cooking. Yeah, we hear you. You're not talking now that I'm in here with you.
All right, so the next ingredient that we're gonna prep is 2 cloves of garlic. We're gonna mince those.
And you just pull the cloves off.
Yeah, you just pull the cloves off. And then
Now that I'm not in there with the bird, you hear him saying peekaboo. You hear him, Owen?
oh yeah. All right, so we're gonna cut the ends off of these cloves, and then if the cloves that you have are too little, then just use 3 cloves.
And what Owen is using to cut the ends off of these cloves is just a butter knife. He's just getting enough of the skin off so that when he puts it in the press, it'll squish on out. But it's not really necessary to get all the skin off.
Alright, so now we're gonna mince those 3 cloves that we just got the skin off of. We're gonna mince those into our little ramekin that we have here. Alright, so we're mincing the garlic into our ramekin.
The garlic press is easy to use. Fresh garlic's a lot better, don't you think?
Yes. And now we're gonna scrape the rest of the garlic that's still on the garlic press off of the garlic press into the ramekin. Alright, so now we're gonna prep the chicken, and there's a few different ways you can buy it. So one is already pre-cut as a cutlet.
So this one is either fresh or frozen. We bought this one fresh, and lots of different brands sell it. It's boneless, skinless chicken breasts, but they are more of an individual portion size, and you can see here's where they're individually wrapped up, and when you take it out, it's this small chicken breast, whereas this one, probably cheaper by the pound, but it's in comparison, you know, huge. So Owen's going to have to slice that one in half. So if you're making this, you may want to buy the boneless, skinless chicken breast already in portions.
Alright, so we're prepping the chicken. We're gonna go ahead and cut the fat off of the chicken breast.
And this is boneless, skinless chicken breast, but it's still always has some fat on the edges, and no one can feel those, and he's just getting rid of that fat. Which you could cook it if you want to, but a lot of people don't like it. Don't like the texture of it, I guess, as much as anything.
Alright, so we've trimmed the fat away from the chicken breast, and now we're gonna cut where the chicken is so thin. We're gonna make that the first cutlet.
So it's a small cutlet, but that will go in our dish over here with the other 2 pieces of chicken that we had from the other type. All right, this part, he's actually cutting the chicken long ways to divide the length of the chicken into 2 pieces. So his hand is resting on the chicken breast on top, his left hand, and the right hand with the knife, with it pressed against the cooking board, is cutting down the length of the chicken, cutting the thickness of the chicken in half. And he's almost through. He's just done it very slowly and meticulously, not to cut himself. What about your thumb there? Yeah, there you go. Make sure all your fingers are above the level of the knife, and he did. And so now he's got 2 pieces.
Alright, so we've just cut the chicken cutlets, and cutting them like I did long ways might be the hardest part for this dish. So just to throw that out there to y'all.
So it's ultimately probably easier just to buy those pre-portioned cutlets in the bag, even though you pay a little bit more.
Alright, so next we're gonna put in kosher salt, two teaspoons, and half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And so we're gonna go ahead and put the salt and pepper in, and this is gonna help keep the chicken moist when cooking.
It also helps to break down the meat fibers, and it makes it a little more tender. And we haven't said it, but we have our chicken all together in a bowl. So we cleaned up the counter. Owen's washed his hands, and he'll wash them again. He's using his hands to help flip this chicken around so that all of the pieces of chicken get the salt and pepper. We tend to use a metal bowl or a glass bowl rather than a plastic bowl, especially for raw meat. And that's what he's got, a metal bowl, and he's going to flip all that chicken around. And we're gonna let that sit for how long at least before we start to cook?
At least 15 minutes.
Okay.
Alright, so now we're gonna season our green beans for the roasted green beans. And we're gonna use 2 peppers. We're gonna cut those into rings, half an onion, teaspoon of Greek seasoning, and then I have the garlic salt, 2 teaspoons in ramekin,
Actually, that's just
And I have-
1 teaspoon of garlic salt.
and then 1 teaspoon of garlic salt, and then I have the olive oil,
And that is 2 tablespoons.
and then I have the
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons of the
Parmesan.
Parmesan. Okay. All right, so first we're gonna cut the onion. We're gonna cut the ends off of them. And then we're gonna cut the other end off. All right, and then we're gonna cut it in half. We're going to use a half of it and then wrap the other half up. Alright, so right now I'm pulling the skin off of the onion, the outer layer skin. So got that off. And now we're just going to cut it.
So
like
this is just a rough chop of the onion. Yep. So this onion and the 2 sweet peppers, they come in a bag of red and yellow peppers and orange peppers. And we're going to mix it with those seasonings into the green bean casserole and put it in the oven.
Not green bean casserole, roasted green beans.
Yeah, just roasted green beans, sorry. Yeah, green bean casserole is a whole different dish, isn't it?
Yeah. Alright, so we've taken care of the onion. Now we're gonna cut the peppers. We're gonna cut the tops off of them first. And then after you've cut the tops off of them, we're gonna cut them into rings. So we've cut the peppers up into rings, and now we're gonna just put them in the green beans. Now we have the other seasonings. We have the garlic salt first. Alright, and then next we have the olive oil. And then we have the Parmesan cheese. And then we have 1 teaspoon of Greek seasoning. Alright, so we had to add another tablespoon of olive oil because we didn't have enough, and that's just part of the cooking process. If we need more, we can add it. So now that we put that in, I'm gonna just turn it with my hands, make sure the olive oil and onions and peppers and all the seasonings get soaked into the green beans.
And after that, you're gonna do what?
So after that, we're gonna put the green beans in the oven for between 20 to 30 minutes. It just depends on how tender you want them to be in the finished product.
What temperature?
350.
And are you going to cover them or leave them uncovered?
Leave them uncovered.
All right. This, by the way, is a really yummy side. I'm a true Southerner, like my cooked to death green beans, but this is a very nice dish with the peppers and onions and the seasoning.
All right, so we're about to get ready to cook the chicken. We're gonna just pat it with flour. Make sure it's lightly coated, not too heavily coated, but just enough to get it coated. And then we're gonna hold it and shake it a little bit to get any excess flour off. And then we're gonna put it in this plate here and do the same thing over again.
So we're using our favorite frying utensil, which is made by Ninja. It's a crock pot, but it has a stovetop setting. And so he can safely fry in this without catching on fire, which is the whole point. So I tease him that I don't want to be Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't want him to be Mrs. Doubtfire. So he get one more breaded up. He's got to bread 4 and put it in this crock pot.
All right, so I'm about to put the chicken cutlets in the crock pot to sear, and we're gonna sear them on each side for about 3 minutes.
Alexa, stop. That's our roasted green bean timer.
All right, so we went ahead and put the chicken back in, and we're gonna let that simmer for about 4 minutes.
Right.
All right, so we're about to plate the chicken, and you ready?
Yep.
So we're gonna go ahead and take the chicken out and move it on over to the platter.
We are keeping those lemons in as part of the sauce. The chicken is so tender it'll just break apart, and the sauce is thickened up nicely.
All right, so last thing we're gonna add is some 3 tablespoons of butter. And then we're gonna do the parsley.
That is fresh parsley that we brought home from our trip to Savannah, where it's still warm in December and January.
And then lastly, we're gonna add the capers to our sauce.
So we've got about 3 tablespoons of capers.
Yum.
All right, and you've got a whisk there. I think I stole your whisk. Let me go find it for you.
All right, so now we're just gently stirring the sauce in with the parsley and all the seasons we added. All right, so we're about to pour the sauce on the chicken, and same way we did with the spaghetti, we've put pot holders under the crock pot for the sauce to go down to one side, and then we're gonna just ladle it. And pour it on the chicken.
Very good. Go.
So we ended up putting the rest of the capers in the sauce because our guests and we all like capers, so we put the rest of what was left in the sauce.
Well, it looks beautiful. Here's our guest. Yay! We're gonna have a great meal.